Check 1, 2. Here we go. Episode 49. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. I don't know if the sound's working. Let me know if it's working. Okay. Check 1, 2. Had a little sound problem at the beginning. Let me see something here. I have multiple things running right now. Everybody, this is evening hour number 49. I'm Cardone, and we have a guest tonight. William, thank you. Let me ask you, when I first started the show tonight, you probably didn't hear the beginning of that one opening song. I have a new setup tonight because, thank you, everybody. I'm waiting for Stuart Palm is going to be interviewed live tonight on this show. He is in Hong Kong. This is amazing that we can actually do this. I'm waiting for him. He's in a taxi cab on his way to his office. So we're going to chat for a little bit, and then he is going to message me and let me know he is at his office. And then we're going to have an interview. I hope you guys have questions. I have stuff I want to ask him too. He's a very good friend of mine, so we're going to have a good time tonight. Tonight I'm drinking sangria, señorial. I'm horrible at pronouncing Spanish. Señorial. It's wine soda with no alcohol. It's got like a weird brownish red color. And it's really good. All right, everybody. Who do we got in here? We got Jason, William, Ashworth, Sharky, William Nemeth, Amanda. What's up? Come on in. Now, when it's time for me to do my Zoom, I am going to be bouncing to a different screen. Let me see here. Okay. Cool. Well, let's just start the show. And when he gets into his office, he will message me. So my sound sounds normal. I might have to turn off my mic here. Good in Bangla. Salam Kazi. Apni kamon achan bondu. My Bangladeshi buddy is in the house. What's up? How's California? What am I going to say? Oh, so tonight, as soon as this show's over, my friends, I will be turning on my television. I don't turn my TV on all the time. I'm a big proponent of Peter Benedetti. What's up? I'm a big proponent of turning off the TV. You want to change your life? You want to enlighten yourself? Do you want to have an awakening? 2 recommendations. A, make your bed every day. And B, turn off your damn television. I really mean turn it off, put a cover over it. Buy a cool looking piece of cloth that has something you like to look at, a pattern, and cover your damn TV. And you will be shocked at what happens. So whenever I watch TV, I have to move a bunch of things now out of the way and prepare the television for it to be viewed. Basically, it's just off limits all day. And I turn it on once a week, twice a week at this point. Maybe. I've gone over a month without any television. Maybe longer. I'm sure that sounds shocking to some people. Yeah. So tonight is a high holy day. I'm going to turn my TV on, and I'm going to watch a movie I have been waiting to see since I was a child. I kid you not. Ever since I was a little tiny boy, I knew one day they were going to remake a new version. I don't know if it's a remake. They're going to make a new version of Godzilla vs. King Kong. I couldn't find this the other day in my show. This is the very first videotape I ever bought. That's it, right there. King Kong Godzilla. It was in the discount bin. And back in the day, these videotapes were... Oh my god, there's hardly any tape on this. It's like recorded in EP mode, the cheap mode. These tapes were cheap even in the old days. They were like less than $5. So, if you told somebody in the 80s you could own a movie forever for $5, that was good. And there it is. So, this is the first videotape I ever bought. I've seen it a million times. I always knew they would redo it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be an American production or a Japanese production. And alas, today is the day. It's released today on HBO. I wish I could go see it at a movie theater. I will definitely go see it in a movie theater probably next week. There's a little boy in my neighborhood who I'm friends with. He's a little buddy of mine. We hang out on the beach. We surf in the water. You know, we're beach friends too. And his parents are close friends. And he hasn't been to the movies yet. He's only 4. Now, you might think this is too much of a film for a 4-year-old. Be kind, rewind. But yeah, he's cool. He saw the last Godzilla movie, I believe. I can't wait to see his little eyes light up in a movie theater. I hope we get a good one with good sound. So the reviews are out. The film's getting very good reviews. People love it. People say the actors are cool. They say that the plot ain't bad. It's, you know, God, it's a giant lizard and a giant monkey battling. How do you make that interesting? There's a way. On that note, let me just check and see. I don't think my buddy's at his office yet, but he'll be there. So, I collect Godzilla toys, and I didn't get to show these on the screen the other day. So, I'm going to show them now. There's a company called Far East Monsters that maybe 10 to 15 years ago put out 2 toys that are sculptures with sound and lights. And it was supposed to be a diorama of Destroy All Monsters. And they were going to do the monster at a time. The first one they did was Godzilla. And it looks like this. Look at the detail on this guy. The costume is good. The face is good. And it has... So he lights up, makes the sound, and they also did King Ghidorah. A lot of people don't know how to pronounce his name. They'll say Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, or King Ghidra. That's how they pronounce it. And it's too bright in here. But he lights up too. His lightning bolts in mouth. I always thought King Ghidorah. I always thought King Ghidorah's voice was really... Listen. I love his scream. It's like a really unnerving sound effect. So if anybody's seen the movie... Oh, there's wing just fell off. if anybody has seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, the last Hollywood Godzilla movie, Ghidorah is good. He's a cool monster. They really do a good job. And one of the secrets to that film, the reason why it has character, is they actually hired... oh, my mother's in the house. Hi, Mama. Good evening, Mama. Mama Cardone. Ghidorah, King Ghidorah. They hired 3 actors to play the heads. And they literally filmed it of them doing the bodies 3 by side and interacting with each other. So if you watch that movie, the 3 heads are very separate and they do things. One of them kind of bothers the other head, and it's pretty cool. Very excited to see this movie. I can't wait to see some of the surprises. I know there are definitely a few in there that I know about. I'm not going to spoil it. I think on Friday I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do on the Friday show. It's the 50th episode. It might be just a review of this film where I freak out over how much I liked it or didn't like it. I am known to not like things that a lot of people like. Once upon a time in Hollywood. It's me. I have my own weird tastes and preferences, and some things that the critics might adore, I might crap on. So we'll see. So far, I think I'm going to like this film. I didn't like the very first Legendary as much as the rest. I thought that was the weakest so far. Let me check and see if Mr. Stewart is in the house yet. I don't think he is. Nope, he is not there yet. That's cool. We'll wait for him. We have time. I told him, yeah, he can bounce in whenever he wants. What else before we start on some stuff? Oh, I am going to have a contest on Friday. I'm backed up 2 contests, and I have a pile of things for the post office. I went to the post office the other day, and the darn post office is closed for construction till tomorrow morning, which means tomorrow morning I'm getting up, and Peter, your package goes out, and Helen, your package goes out. They will be in envelope, what do you call them? Priority envelopes, flat rate. I can't wait for you to get your stuff and hear what you think. I have a stack of things to give away for this show. A big stack. And I don't mind sending them out. I think it's great. I feel good doing it. I like sending presents to people. I like having little contests. And if it stimulates my channel, awesome. If you're new to the channel, hit that like, subscribe, notify. If you're just getting in here, because I have lots of content to share. And I think on Friday, I'm going to be giving away... I gotta find poster tubes. Poster tubes are a pain in the butt. I've got a really cool poster I'm gonna give away. I don't have a lot of these. This is the very first project I ever worked on with Stuart Palm. It is an old school magic poster entitled The Ark of Mystery. And this is now, my goodness... 20 years old, 18 to 20 years old. It kind of shocks me. So I met Stuart. I'll tell you a little bit about how I met him before he jumps in. And then he'll tell you his first meeting. I remember meeting him in the magic shop. And we'll talk about that first meeting. But our first collaborative thing was I was like, dude, you do mentalism and magic and you're a painter? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you should do magic, old school magic posters. And it made me, I remember David Blaine had a magic poster once that was just a copy of the Houdini poster. And I was just like, why wouldn't he have a new design done of something brand new? Not a copy of another famous magician's poster. It's because he has bad taste. Anywho, I was like, let's do a brand new design of a new magic poster so that when we're all dead and gone, somebody will stumble upon this and go, hey, what was this? And so I wanted it to have some symbolism. And I actually have somewhere the very first sketch out I did of just like a basic kind of what I was imagining. And he has good taste. And he said, I got this. And this is what he came up with. It is a beaut. So on Friday, I'm going to be We'll have a little contest on this. And Stuart also, where did I put it? Where is it? Oh, here. Look. Can you see that? It's invisible. Here, I'll make it visible. There it is. That is a coin. In my life, I remember thinking, my God, no magicians have custom coins anymore. I made this, and then a couple famous magician friends of mine did it right after I showed them mine, which is cool. It is a real coin, and let me see if I can get a good close-up without it blurring out. It is a Cardone coin, designed by Stuart Palm. I will be sending this out too in the whatchamacallit, in the package on Friday. Whoever wins on Friday. Now, this is a very lightweight coin. It's actually kind of tricky to do coin rolls with because it doesn't have a lot of weight. It's an aluminum alloy. But it's a good practice coin because it is lightweight. It's even harder to do. Let me see here. Oh, all right. Stuart's in the Zoom. Let me let him in here. Here we go. Let me let Mr. Stuart in. And hold on. I need to adjust this. Mr. Stuart, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, wow. This is amazing. All right. Let me turn that
Are
down.
we on?
All right. Hold on. Let me just bring you in. This is nuts. I've never done this before.
What I wasn't sure is if I needed to wear my headphones,
All right.
but
Hold on.
it
You
looks.
might be on. Let me see. I'm not sure yet. Hold on.
We don't know.
So everybody watching, can you hear Stuart? Say hi. Stuart, you can say hi.
Hello, everybody.
All right, so your video's not on, but your sound's on. Everybody, if you can hear Stuart, just say hello, everybody. Let me know. Or actually, I can check on... All right, let me see. There's a delay. I'm going to zoom you in. Here we go. Everybody, I'm going to welcome a very dear friend of mine. Oh, they can hear Stuart. Yay. I'm so excited. This opens a whole new door for me. I get to interview people now. And I've got a lot of amazing friends who are artists and performers and weirdos of sorts. The voice of God level voice. All right, let me turn you back a bit.
In the beginning.
Okay. Stuart Palm drinking his coffee. Welcome, everybody. You're in. You're live. Everybody, let me know if you can see Stuart. I know our screens are different sizes because I am still hooking this up. If you can see Stuart, let me know in the chat. And everybody says they can hear you. Welcome.
I think what you have to do is you have to put your video on the Zoom instead of on your show for the time. I think that's how this works.
Video.
Yeah, you have to turn your video on Zoom instead of on your normal feed.
I don't even know what that means. You know,
well,
if
you go to Zoom, there'll be a button that says like, because right now on Zoom it's just your picture of an illustration of you in a skull. So if you go on Zoom and you tell it, there's like on the lower left there'll be a little thing that says stop video, and next to that's a little triangle. You hit the triangle, you turn on your camera.
Oh, if I turn the camera on, it won't work.
I think you'll then put us both on Zoom.
No, that won't work. Yeah, that won't work. So Stuart had a... Oh, yeah, they can all hear and see you. Welcome, welcome. Stuart is live.
Oh, they can hear me. They can see me now.
They can see you. Yeah, you're in Hong Kong. He's live in Hong Kong. I'm live in New York City.
Good morning.
And Stuart left to this morning. Me and Stuart jumped online today to practice, and I couldn't get his sound to work. So Stuart got to listen to me and my son, a.k.a. Wolfenstein, arguing and screaming and yelling about how dumb each other is on, he was yelling at me, I was yelling at him. It was pretty amusing, I'm sure.
It was.
So before you jumped in, I don't know if you were watching, I told everybody, this show, I've been giving away a prize every Friday, and look what the Friday prize is this Friday. I don't know if you saw. Remember this old thing?
That's the problem. I can't.
Oh, you can't see. You have to look at YouTube. And there's a delay.
I have it on my phone,
yeah,
but
you'll see it. It's the old poster.
It's like on my the lag is such that on my phone I just appeared. for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
So you gotta tell me if you're gonna
This
show
is
something.
so surreal. Right now, if I stop and just like process what's going on, like, okay, what's going on here? I have in front of me a video camera, a microphone, a headphone. I'm running Zoom, Streamlabs, YouTube, and no, I'm not doing a power mirror. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, a hand camera, all running at the same time, and I'm a computer dummy. A computer dummy. It's kind of overwhelming. So if this feed gets cut for any reason, it's probably done for the evening because I don't even know where to start. I wanted to just talk about what the hell we've been doing. I mean, you and me. Tell them about when we first met. I mean, I met you in a magic shop. That's what I remember.
Well, yeah, man. When I moved to New York, it was just before September 11th.
Oh my gosh. And my son was just born.
Yeah.
I just had a baby.
Well, that was before you were, that was September.
It was a month before. He was born August 7th. And September 11th is less than a month away. Yeah.
Yeah. So I moved to New York just around a little bit before then. And then after September 11th, I was working in a bar, right. And I had a handful of magic and mentalism stuff that I did at the bar. That's just self-taught. I didn't know anything about that world at that time, other than like I had a book and there was a shop I used to go to in Tennessee.
Yeah. And you use magic as like kind of a fun thing in the bar, right? Like as you bartended.
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff, you were just
my
like,
draw. People would come in and I would read their minds. I was like, all right, I can do that.
That's fun.
And somebody came in that was performing across the street and told me where magic shops were. Like I hadn't even thought of that was a thing in New York. I went, oh, I guess there are those there. That makes sense.
Right.
And so then I kind of went on an exploration of like, well,
Didn't you go
I
to
wanted
Tannen's
to learn more
first?
I wanted to learn more about mentalism. Yeah, I went to Tannen's first and I bought Mind, Myth, and Magic, the giant tome on mentalism, a mentalism DVD, and then David Roth videos, because I was like, well, I don't really know that much coin stuff. And so I started performing that stuff, and people started to offer to hire me for stuff, which I didn't know you could like do. And so I was exploring out, like, oh, this is a revenue stream.
Yeah.
Okay, I like doing this.
Yeah.
And I went and explored around, and I found you at Halloween Adventure, and I was like, oh, finally, a guy who doesn't seem like he's an accountant. Because most people I'd met in that community, it was like,
why is that?
This is a strange. This person is supposed to be mystical, magical wizard, and he's like, it looks like he just got out of his mom's basement for the first time.
He probably did.
He probably did. So we connected.
I mean, we made friends pretty quick. I think we were on the same page because you have an art background right away, and I had a theater background, and it was like, oh.
Eventually, I started working with you at that magic shop.
Yeah, that's right.
I took over the magic shop for a while.
That's right. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Holy crap. Well, the magic shop, that whole business just closed
exist anymore.
Last month, or not even, a couple weeks ago. Wow, that was a long run. Wow,
Halloween Adventure.
Halloween Adventure. Before I worked there, it was Michael Lee, and then Magical Mike Escover, and then me.
Yep.
Wow. And how long after that did you do this post? Like, did we go, hey, let's do a piece of art together?
I don't know. I think
a couple years. Was it not right? It wasn't right away. It was like a few years. It was a few
years. I got into vaudeville posters, and I was like, hey, I want to do one of those. And I don't know how. You were like, I want one. I don't know how it happened.
I kind of remember saying to you, you're an artist and a magician. Why aren't you doing magic posters? And you were like, yeah, why aren't I? Let's do one. Let's do it. It just kind of just fell all together in 2 seconds. It was like, because I was like, I mentioned before you jumped in here that I remember David Blaine had a poster that I thought was lame because it was just it was like a copy of the Houdini one. And I was like, why don't you just do a new thing? Like, why are you, imitating?
Well, his other ones are beautiful.
He did have some new ones, yeah.
Blaine's artist is a guy named Mark Stutzman, and he's also the guy that Legends Playing Card Company, who we're doing the Satanic cards with, he does some of Legends' other decks, the back designs, and so I studied his process a bit before I figured out how to best make card stuff, because he was already doing it.
Interesting. Well, I remember the later Blaine posters were way better. Like, they started getting really cool. But he did one early one that was...
The Buried Alive?
One of them was like a copy of the Houdini one. And I was like, what a lame approach.
So many people do that.
Yeah. Even when I did my milk can, Houdini's phrase was, which I thought was good, it's failure means a drowning death. I was like, well, that's good. But I was like, why would I use that? I have to make a new one. So I came up with Claustrophobic Hell as the poster title.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was just easier. It was like easier and cooler. And when you first did that poster, not long after we did the coin, I remember that came not too long after. Maybe
no, it was a long time after.
Really?
It was a long time after. Yeah.
See, it seemed like a year later for me. Wow.
Yeah.
And then we did the book, the kids' book, which I swear to God, we can get this done with a Kickstarter. Some sort of Kickstarter, or we just print it ourselves.
You should get the yeah, totally. You can watch a video if you after we're done. Maybe we'll send the link. I made a video of the book narrating it on YouTube somewhere.
I remember that.
Search Haunted House Magic Show.
Haunted House Magic Show, Stuart Palm. Also, Stuart Palm is in the bio, in the description on your box. If you look in there, it just says stuartpalm.com, and that on your website, people can order your books and stuff too, right? Your stuff.
Yeah, and they just message me on,
Okay.
Because some stuff is hard to find.
I love that you and people, so they know who you are. I mean, you work in Hong Kong as a mentalist, hypnotist. What else? Those are the two big ones.
Yeah, those are that's enough.
That's what you
I always start
yeah.
with hypnotist when it's social and I don't know, and somebody I don't know, and they ask, "What do you do?" I say, "I'm a hypnotist," just because I can go either way with that.
Yeah. They also if you say mentalist, some people don't know what that means. Maybe.
Well, the show actually made that pretty, the TV show, but then it's like, do you fight crime?
Oh, yeah. I've seen that show, and I thought it was cool that they don't tell you how he does his little tricks.
Right. I agree.
They give you like little bits of glimpses, but they don't spell it out.
But mentalist, if you talk to somebody British, means you're crazy.
I didn't know that.
So if you were like, I'm a mentalist, a British person would be like,
they're like, wait, that's
although I still do say that with British people. I'm like, yes, I'm a mentalist,
and they're like,
in every sense of the word.
I guess you could make a joke out of that.
Yeah,
you're a mentalist. I like mentalism because out of the mystery arts, that's what we call all of these: magic, mentalism, hypnosis. Out of the mystery arts, the mentalism stuff is the one that bridges the gap between reality and fantasy. I mean, that's what I would say. If I'm doing coin tricks, it's fantasy. It's reality because I'm doing coin tricks, but it's still people know there's a fantasy involved. When you're doing mind things where you're
here's the difference.
Yeah.
Magic elicits the response, how did he do that? Right. Mentalism elicits the response, wow, he can do that.
I see. Yeah. That is definitely. Yeah, because in mentalism, you will not just have mind reading tricks. Telekinesis gets put in there, moving objects without touching them.
I don't really do that much, but
I know that's not your thing. I that's the stuff I mess with. I do mentalism, but I don't say I'm doing it. I just mix it in, and so when it happens, it's like, oh, that was different. Yours is different. If you bust out and do a coin trick in the middle of a mentalism set, it's almost like a record scratch, right? It's like very not. It's almost.
Well, yeah, I don't. Well,
you would never necessarily do that.
No, there are some magic things that I will do for people, and I just say, let me show you something that I learned as a bartender.
I see.
It's more magic trick, and people get that. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. You would know how to do these things too.
Well, the funny part about
you
it
just
is
have to frame it,
right? Because magic can still be a reality of sorts.
It is a reality,
right? Yeah, that's how I play it. I mean, I play it all like if this is all happening for real right now. You know, I don't play act it. I make it real. Like, hey, I just did that. You know, so.
Mm-hmm.
But as a magician, I don't like to whip out certain props because I think it takes it away from a reality, which is funny because that's what mentalism's all about, is like pulling it back from like goofy props and, you know, giant boxes to, no, we just need paper and pencils and you and me, and here we go. And I try to use that aesthetic in magic because I think it makes the magic stronger. If that makes any sense.
Cool.
You know,
yeah, that does.
It just it is real to me. It all this is why you and me get along, is I think you and me share the notion that fake magic is real magic in a sense, and it can be real. It can have that energy and
yeah,
the same.
Well,
results.
and there is real magic.
yeah, exactly. I got a really I got a really good definition of magic from Carl Abramson, the writer. He wrote his definition of magic is magic is.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, right? It really is a good definition. Magic is. There's
a book called Real Magic by Dean Radin. He's the guy who's the dean of what's called the Noetic Science Center or something. I think that's right. Center for Noetic Science, something like that. And it goes through like his study of magical things in the real world that exist, and people have, you know, recorded that these experiences happen. He talks about sigils and how that works, and synchronistic things. He goes into a lot of stuff that are magical things in your world. And at some point towards the end, he has my favorite quote on the topic, which is, magic is real. Get over it.
I love talking about magic with people that, especially magicians, who are like, oh my God, can you believe there are magicians that think magic's real? And I'm like, when I meet people like that, which is what most magicians would say, this is why
Millborn Christopher.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's why when I met you, we got along. I like to talk to them and debate it a bit, because I'm like, well, what do you define as magic, first of all? Like, what do you mean by, like, what is your definition of magic? Because my definition of magic is I can change things. I can change emotions and vibes and the way things are moving using symbolism, metaphor, and ritual. And in those three things, that can be in a magic show, right? Like a performance or a mentalism performance, whatever it is. And it could also be in a ritualistic private performance. And those transformations happen.
Hypnosis, you use metaphor to heal. Literally, when you learn hypnosis well, you can have somebody come sit down and just tell them stories that will make them able to handle fears and all kinds of different things, transformations. And it's really, you know, you do the mumbo jumbo of getting them to relax and go into a trance state, but the thing that's causing them to change is the metaphor.
Right. Wow.
There's a trick to metaphors. There's a trick to metaphors that most parents destroy.
Oh, tell.
The trick to metaphors is you don't explain them.
Okay.
So anytime you go, and the moral of the story is, well, you just ruined it.
I see what you're saying. It needs to have a reality to it.
You still tell the story of, the boy who cried wolf, and you just let it be.
Right. Interesting.
Because you're gonna let them. Their consciousness needs to figure that out.
I never thought of it that way. That's freaking cool, man. So, okay, so in the guise of a hypnosis setting, and we should do a show where you talk about simple ways people can use hypnosis. I've been thinking about that because I use hypnosis bits through all my shows.
Chair over there.
Oh, I see it. There's your chair. That's where people chill out.
Yep.
That's the relax. Well, okay, so in a hypnosis setting, would you say, I'm going to guess you do, but there is a ritual of sorts. A, they're coming to see you. B, you dress a certain way, you look a certain way, you have your bona fides, you might have the dangling watch. There's certain trappings that I think make people go into the trance.
Yeah. It helps.
Like when I teach little kids.
Different versions of that. Some hypnotherapists will have an office that's very like professional and medical feeling.
Ah, interesting. Right.
So that people feel they're at like a therapist mindset.
I see.
And I thought about that, but then I'm like, that's not me. I'm like wacky.
You're the Wizard of Oz. You're a wizard too.
Realistic.
Yeah, you got totally. A wizard vibe.
Wait, hold on.
For people that don't know, you're 6 foot what?
6.
You're 6'6". He's a tall guy. When he stands beside me, I look like a hobbit.
This is like my hobbit hole. The ceilings in this place are only like 3 inches taller than me. Here, I have a kind of curiosity shelf over there. In the middle of it is this little statue.
It's Professor Marvel.
There you go.
I love it. I am such a fan of Professor Marvel. Did you see the James Franco Oz, the Great and Powerful?
Sadly, yes.
See, I liked that movie. I didn't mind it.
I need to see it again. There was too much CGI.
It's a computer movie. It actually made me cry. It choked me up.
There were parts of it I liked.
I got choked up. I saw it with my kids, and I remember I embarrassed them because I was crying like a child. I got choked up in 2 parts. Well, first of all, it starts off with him as a carny, and it shows the carny business, and we can all identify with that. But the thing that I thought that the movie captured, like I always explain this to people. I'm like, look, the reason why that story moves me so much is it's about a dude who has no magic powers, goes to a real magic land that actually has magic all over the place, and he doesn't actually have any of those powers, but he's in the magic world, and he's able to use his skill set to become a real wizard. And there's the scene in the movie at the end where he's already created his hologram of sorts of the Wizard of Oz, and there's a scene where the witch throws a fireball at this massive hologram, and the crowd's like, ah! And Franco, the wizard guy, goes, and he turns it all off. And they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, no, just wait. And they're like, and the witch is like, I just beat him. And they're like, turn it on. And he's like, no, wait. And then they're like, no, wait, what are you doing? And he's waiting, and he's waiting, and he's waiting, and he's waiting. And then he goes, now I'm going to turn it on. Beep! And then he hits it on, and the wizard pops up. And it's like, dude, this guy's using theatrics and drama and the pregnant pause, to use his showmanship to beat real witches. When I saw that movie, I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I always thought in The Wizard of Oz, everybody gets their gift at the end. The con man gives them their gifts. It's like the most beautiful moment. You're like, no, he's full of shit. He actually worked. Everything he said happened. And to me, that's such a metaphor for what we do. That character, his character, Professor Marvel. I love him.
That was one of those movies where, like, I remember there were moments I really liked of it, but as a whole, I wanted I wanted it to be better. I wanted to like it more.
The CG's over too much. It's just everything.
Yeah, CG. It's immediately dated.
It's just dated.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks
5 years. Look at it and go, oh.
There was a doll character that was clearly just a computer animated blob. They should have done it stop motion or a puppet or
yeah. Practical effects are better.
Something.
Hey, I watched this cheesy movie, Love and Monsters, recently, and I liked it.
Love and Monsters. I never even heard of it. What is that?
Yeah, it's a monster movie. Like it's another apocalyptic, whatever monster movie, but the monsters are kind of cute and sometimes scary. But
I'll look it up. I never saw it. I'm a monster
it was good.
guy. I will definitely look it up. Love and Monsters.
Love and Monsters.
It goes on my list. What did you see it on?
I think I rented it on
Amazon
iTunes, maybe.
iTunes. Okay.
Or I bought it. I think I bought it on iTunes.
Tonight I'm gonna watch. As soon as we're done, I'm putting on Godzilla King Kong. I've been literally. I told the audience I've been waiting my whole life to see that movie. If you asked me when I was little what movies I wish I could see, it would be a version of that, King Kong Godzilla, and maybe a sequel to Flash Gordon. I don't want to see a remake. I'd like to see a new vision of Flash Gordon. I would also like to see a really good He-Man movie, which they've been trying to do, and I would love to see Conan. They're
making a new cartoon.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah.
I don't think you'll like it, probably.
Yeah, we'll see. I did like the 90s version of He-Man. They did a late 90s cartoon that was very good. Oh, cool. Very good. The script was good.
I was definitely a He-Man obsessed person at one point.
Me too. Yeah.
With my Castle Grayskull and my Cringer.
Oh, you're right there with me. That was my
Man of Arms.
Oh, I love that stuff. It was fantasy and science fiction combined. It was like brilliant. I am also waiting for Conan 3. King Conan with Schwarzenegger. It's the third one. It's him as an old guy. There's a book for it. There's a script. He's been trying to get it made. It maybe will happen.
That'd be awesome.
King Conan. I love the first two Conan movies. I think they're actually both good. I like the second one.
Yeah. And Red Sonja.
I've seen that, but I haven't seen it in years. I forgot about it. I have to see it again.
I got to see them all again.
I mean,
but I'm waiting to do my kids.
Yeah, they'll like the first Conan is great. That's not really a kids movie. I mean, he's not a good guy. He's definitely, his morals are all over the place in that movie. He literally punches out a camel. I don't know if you remember it, but he goes,
don't remember
boom,
that.
and he right hooks a camel.
Is that the one that ends in the kind of like a House of Mirrors illusion?
No, that's 2.
That's 2. Okay.
That's 2. That is, woo, that's the evil wizard tower. 1 is the snake guy, who is James Earl Jones.
Oh, right.
Thrakka-Doom, or whatever his name was. He's kind of scary. He's got this unnerving look in his eye, because he's like a black dude with bright blue eyes, and he's got big blue eyes, and he's got. It's that funny weird how
hair. there's some movies that like, I'm like, oh, I think Logan would love that. Logan's my son, and then I'm like, I don't remember if that's appropriate yet, or what age you should watch it. You can't remember exactly, and then I think back to like, well, when did I watch it? Oh, I was like probably this age, and then I like watch it again a little bit to tech, and I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have seen that at that age.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh, that's not really.
I had the way I raised my kids was I started them watching movies that were definitely too old for them, at a very early age, so that by the time they were older, like 5-6 years old, they had already seen an obscene amount of horror films and stuff. But they also saw the documentaries on the blood effects, and I would put blood effects on them, and they would do it to me. You know, they knew the behind the scenes stuff too, and that's how I think you should watch.
Well, I as a person who's empathetic, and like when I see stuff like that, it's very difficult for me, especially as a child. I went and learned special effects And I used to spend a lot of time at this this store in Florida. I grew up in Florida, called the House of Make Believe, and they sold costumes, and they had a magic counter, and they had all the like fake blood and
the latex and all the
all that stuff.
Ooh, I love
and I went and I was really into that first, actually, because it allowed me to access being able to watch that stuff, because I was like, oh, I know what it is now.
Right. That
I don't
makes
have
sense.
to put my head in that mindset, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to do it.
I remember being, oh, look, guess who's in the house here? Richie Nash. Amazing Richie.
Oh, wow.
He's in the chat. What's up, Amazing Richie? He's in Florida.
He's amazing.
Oh, yeah, Beastmaster, Jason says. That's another oldie but goodie. Now, there's another movie I recommend. If anybody wants to have a party and watch a film, this is not for children. I have the Blu-ray of it. Sorceress. Sorceress. It's a film called Sorceress. It's a Roger Corman production-y Conan knockoff about two twin chicks that are warrior wizards, and they're on a mission. It is so outrageous, the fighting and the nudity and it's just one of those like 80s outrageous films that if you're going to throw a party, it's a party movie. People will be hooting and howling and laughing. And I own, where is it? Oh, here it is. Look at this cover. Let me get it so it's not glared. That's it. That's Sorceress. It's got some weird lion with wings and a half-naked girl. Love it. Let's read some comments here. Here you go. Bam. Here's a good question. Libra Liz. As two people who seem to be happy with your career paths in lives, what would you recommend to find a fulfilling path and fulfilling partnerships like you both have found in each other? Wow. I mean, I would say just be yourself, which is what you do and I do. That's it.
That's why we clicked. I was like, yeah, I do this stuff and I like it.
Let your freak out and don't hide it. Like, just let it out.
Yeah. Be as you as you can be. Like, don't be scared of people.
Yeah, just don't be afraid.
They don't know.
Yeah.
And they will just be jealous, really, is what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I come across guys all the time who were like, hey, what do you do with that mustache? Or, whatever. I've even had guys be like, really? That's what you do? Just obnoxious things. But I know behind it, they're just jealous that whatever it is, the world they're in, they can't just, be whoever they are, even with their own facial hair. Like,
I know, it's sad. I honestly, at an early age, realized I was going to get made fun of no matter what. It didn't matter what I did. Somebody was going to make fun of me, and I just didn't care. I was like, all right.
I had a similar feeling, and I've always been a costumey person, like even as a kid. And
well, you told me you used to wear a funny hat when you were a kid, and you had like a hat and a look.
Because I'm such a big person, because I'm 6'6", I'm never gonna be not noticed.
Right. It's
so
true.
Like, people are always gonna be like, whoa, that guy, look at him. Like, even doesn't, and I live in Asia, so it's even more, it's dialed up. So I'm, if you're gonna get noticed anyway, you might as well do what you want. Be who you are.
That's Liberace's motto. He's just like, totally. He's like, you like what you see? He's like, this is it. This is me. And he also, one of the things that Liberace said, which is why I have him tattooed on my arm, when he told everybody he was going to perform at Carnegie Hall, they were like, oh my God, the critics are going to laugh at this one. They're going to rip it up and give you bad reviews. And his response was, oh, it's okay. I'll just cry all the way to the bank. He's the guy that coined that phrase. And he was right. He didn't care. He didn't care. He really didn't care. He just did his thing. The story with Liberace was he was playing in nightclubs, and he was just a piano player, so, whatever. So he started showing up with the candelabra and going and putting it on the table, lighting the candles, and then playing. Just that stupid little ritual alone would draw attention, right? I mean, both of us can see why that was a brilliant little move. And then it went from the candelabra to a fancy jacket, you know, and it just progressed to what he became. He realized if people are coming to look, make them look at something.
Have you seen Mucho Mucho Amore?
I've never even heard of it.
Do you have Netflix?
Yes, I do. It took me a second because I got rid of them all, and the only one I have now is that. What's it called?
You're gonna love this guy.
Mucho
Amore. So it's a story. It's a documentary about. Now I can't think of his name. It'll pop in my head, or you'll find it and look it up. Of a Puerto Rican TV astrologer.
Oh, I know him. Walter Mercado. Yeah. I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, Mercado.
I know
That's
him.
Right.
I used to watch him on public access when I moved to New York.
Yeah, I used to see him every once in a while. Like, this guy's amazing. And Mucho Mucho Amore is a documentary of him, and it's brilliant.
Oh, I'll watch
And he goes through a lot of his capes and stuff.
Oh, I'll watch it. I've seen interviews with him, and I've never not liked anything about him. Anybody out there, Walter Mercado fans?
It's all about love.
Dude, he was letting his freak out early. He was big. I mean, yeah. I mean, he had a flair about him that no one comes close to. He's like the Puerto Rican Liberace psychic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love that guy. Walter Mercado. Wow. See what Fallon just wrote? Fallon just wrote, yes, different is good as a tall person, in quotes, because Fallon's tall. Nothing is worse than being tall and slouching. If you stick out, make it count.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nobody should slouch.
Nobody should slouch. I'm constantly doing this too. I'm not tall and I slouch sometimes. It's definitely a habit, which tall people almost are forced to slouch because the world is down here for you. Like everything's down here when you're talking to people.
Yep.
And that must cause neck problems or back problems.
You got to sit down.
You got to sit so that you're on the same plane as the rest. But in Asia, you must notice how low the ceilings are, right? In a lot of places.
Yeah. Even in my own office.
It's. I mean, I've been to Japan many times and Taiwan, and I ain't tall, and I noticed that everything's a little more shrunk there, you know, just for spatial reasons. And I mean, Japanese people aren't famous for being giants, but there is an area in China where they're considered to be quite tall. There's like a couple,
I was walking down the street just this week, and there was a woman who was only maybe 3 inches shorter than me, who was Chinese, and I was like,
you were like,
wow.
Model. Maybe she's a model. Antonio. I got Antonio in the house. Antonio, do we have any shows coming up? Antonio and I. Is this the same Antonio? Where we do shows online, Zoom? Some of these people have names, but I kind of know them, but I don't know them. We've got a nice solid group in here in the house. Anybody has questions, fire away. We're going to have Stuart back in here again because me and him can go off on certain subjects.
Yeah, we can.
I want to spin it a little bit towards recently, about 1.5 years ago, we started chatting about doing playing cards, and we mentioned satanic playing cards for many reasons. But it was like a project idea that was like, I'm not one of those fans of if you think someone's going to do something, then do it because somebody else is going to do it. And I've never said, oh, hey, what's up, Antonio? And like the whole concept of doing an evil pack of cards based on the satanic Bible and the pantheon of demons, I was like, we have to do this. Oh, cool. There we go. Hey, you got a bunch of calls this week, shooting dates, working. I like working, Antonio. Antonio works with Trio, and Trio Entertainment, I started working with them when I met you, Stuart. I started doing shows with Trio Entertainment. Gary Rothstein runs Trio Entertainment for almost 20 years. He's been doing it. So Antonio works with that company, and we've been doing like graduations and online parties.
Oh, nice.
And those dudes, and I'm going to give you a shout out, Antonio. Soon as this COVID crap happened, I got an email from Trio Entertainment going, hey, everybody, we're doing Zoom shows. Like, they were right on it. Like, package deals, bingo, you know, performers, all happening in Zoom land. And they jumped all over it quick. So I give you guys thumbs up. You guys are on the ball. Our satanic cards has been a really fun process. I was nervous. You knew I was nervous. You'd done a Kickstarter. Yeah. I'd never done one. That night before we hit live, I was terrified. I remember I called you like that whole week and we were like on the phone just like tripping out on. I was tripping out. I was like, wow, this is real. We're going to actually do this. And it took 2 hours for us to hit our magic number.
Yeah.
2 hours. We hit our number, and by 4 or 5 hours later, we had tripled it. You know, it was like that. And that was it. And then that whole process, that month of December of us doing it, I got to say was quite exciting. Every day.
Was.
I mean, we woke up and would
my next one too.
What'd you say?
I look forward to the next one too.
I do too, man. I'm like, so everybody that's watching that has satanic cards on the way, anybody that has t-shirts that hasn't gotten them, you're getting them. There's some people have been getting them. A couple people that were bugging me. I think you should have got it by now. If you didn't get it, you can message us, but we're on it. We're working.
There's actually a couple I still need to have sent. That it's just a really slow process because the way that the thing is set up.
Yeah, that's fine. We're getting it done, dude. And I wanted to show people. Here is one of the queens that we just did. So the deck of cards is based on the Pantheon of Demons that Anton LaVey included in the Satanic Bible. And the Pantheon of Demons in that book is interesting because a lot of them are just gods from other mythologies and religions, right? I mean, and it's funny because I remember thinking, like, are people going to be offended that we're including Kali and now we're doing Melek Taus from the Yazidi religion? And like, but here's the thing. According to Judeo-Christian Islamic values, those gods are demons. They are against the grain. They don't fit into the, you know, there's only one God and the rest are all lame. These guys really do represent characteristics that became
like for example, we have Kali as one of the queens.
Yeah.
I love Kali anyway.
Me too. She's tough.
She's great.
She's a beautiful, tough, loving creature. Who
is Mother Earth.
She's Mother Earth, but she will cut your head off.
Yeah, you know, well, Mother Earth will cut your head off.
That's right. It's honesty. Some of these gods to me are very honest. Oh, here we go. What was the most fun to brainstorm and design? Well,
I did have a lot of fun working on Kali because that's a symbol I've enjoyed, you know, thinking about before and
interesting.
So the cutting the head off thing, if you go deep on that, that's about getting over and past your ego. That's what she's doing. She's killing ego.
Yeah.
Anyway, the most fun to design. I don't know.
How about this?
I think
I'm gonna put right now the witch that we just did, the hedge witch. So we wanted to do one of the queens. Look at this one. I wanted a classic European hedge witch, and Stuart whipped this up, and I said, "Oh my, beautiful, Queen of Clubs." I forget what we decided. This is going to be the Queen of. It's either clubs or spades. I don't want to tell everybody which one we are unveiling this month because we have a surprise one. Oh wow, this is great. We're getting really good questions now. I'm going to skip Talon's question, and it's Talon's asking about books that you recommend for hypnosis. We'll get back to that. The artist, Peter Benedetti. If you don't know Peter Benedetti's work, Stuart, I highly recommend go to Instagram and look up Peter Benedetti. You're going to freak out. He just asked, Can you explain in detail a little bit about the nature of your collaboration, how it works between you two, and how the creative decisions get made? How do we work? We get on the phone early in the morning or late at night.
Yep.
I'll just call you and go, hey, you'll say, hey, what are the demons we're going to work on? What are the next series? And I'll go, what about this, this, and this? And you'll go, cool. And then I'll come up with some images that inspire me and send them to you. and then you look through and figure out which ones you groove on, and then what?
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach? What's your? You just start sketching, or do you?
I start sketching.
You just start sketching quick.
Well, I mean, I get a vibe from you, and that's the thing. I know you're.
You know what I like. You know a lot about what I like.
What you like is what I like drawing sometimes anyway, so that's not hard.
I very rarely you show me something that I'm like, whoa, that's in the wrong direction. Really, rarely, I've not.
Yeah,
never.
But when you are, I'm like, yeah, I see why. Like,
right,
I go too detailed or I go too crazy. Like I had that back design at one point that was just too much.
Right.
So, and you can see it. You're like, nah, let's do that maybe for something else. But
I will say,
and you're supportive as well. Like you don't knock it down.
Dude,
so that's
always the people that I work best with are the type of people where our personal egos don't get involved. If you tell me something's a bad idea, I know that you're not just saying it to flex an ego. There's a reason, and you'll tell me you'll be like, well, I've been thinking because this, and this. And when someone tells me that, I go, oh, okay, and I just learned something. When you can't work with somebody, I had one of my ex-girlfriends, I couldn't work on anything with them because when I would say something about like a criticism, I could see they didn't like it. And then I would be like, okay, now let me explain to you why. And that they didn't like, and it ended up being a weird ego game of, oh, you just want to be right. And it's like, no, I'm trying to make the project good. Like, the goal is to make this good.
It's that you have to really establish respect for people first.
Right, you have to respect their image. Yeah.
It's going to be okay if you have that.
I agree. I respect all.
When respect goes out, then it becomes tricky.
I agree. That's it. I think that's our secret of working is we both respect each other's ideas. And if you cut one of my ideas and explain why, I go, oh, there, I just learned something. You know, like I never thought of it that way. Or if you send me something and I'm like, that's a little bright, maybe try different. And then you'll send 2 versions and we'll look at them and go, oh, hey, this one's brighter or this one's darker. Or
yeah,
I don't know. It's been really
because I accept that, like, I don't know. I mean, like.
I mean, honestly, I don't know either. I mean,
but that's why it works.
Yeah, we're throwing a lot of things. I mean, Peter's an artist too, and he makes really outrageous stuff. Some of it's like the imagery is really kind of shocking. Especially Peter, your sculptures, they're just like, whoa, they just hit you like a ton of bricks. Like that is a shocking, beautiful, impressive thing. And I honestly think that we're stewing up things and throwing it into the world and seeing what it does. We don't know we don't know what the hell we're doing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're just making things. To me, that's what this is. We're just making things. We take action. We're like, let's do it. If somebody doesn't do it, somebody else, And so I can't wait to be, Peter says it. You should be inspired and driven by other creative people and not intimidated or jealous.
Totally.
That is 100 freaking %. That's
Kali again. That's cutting off the head of your ego. So you can like chill out and open your mind and respect.
That was the best thing I learned in college. I had a teacher named Victoria Santa Cruz. I did an entire show on her 2 months ago. It was just an episode where I explained how she influenced me. I could do another show. I thought about doing part 2. She, her main message that she always said was clever kills. She'd be clever kills.
Yeah,
clever kills.
And you told me that a long time ago, and I use that as to this day.
Dude,
I perform something or I create something and I go, oh, damn it, it's clever. Or when somebody says that, I'm like, oh,
yeah. Clever means ego, usually.
Not what I'm trying to be.
Now, there's organic clever. That's different. When things organically fall together, as like Peter makes these sculptures, I'd love to see how he comes up with his concepts. He builds these crazy looking organic things, and I can tell, I'll bet the sculpture helps dictate what he's doing. The actual sculpture itself. I'm guessing, Peter, that's one of your processes. Just by watching how you do it, you experiment, and through that experimentation go, oh, wow, look at this. I never thought of that. That, to me, is clever in its organic form, and that is really cool. That's what good art is. I see, Stuart, your art too. You also understand performance, and you understand a sensibility of what it is to grab attention and then tell a story. And I think your art does that too. It's easily accessible. You know, you can see it and go, "Oh, I get it. I get what you're doing here." It's not like esoteric and makes no sense. It's like, "No, I get it." And to me, that's important with some of these things that we're working on, especially cards, you know?
Yeah, just to go back to process a bit, what I generally will do is I'm not first thinking about when I'm drawing, I'm not first thinking about like what character it is, as much as I am imagining. We've already established that, like I already have an idea of like, oh, this is going to be the witch or whatever, and I'm establishing in my mind what's the pose going to be. And I actually go and look at old cards that do the mirror illustration, because for these, if the mirror illustration doesn't work, it doesn't work. So that's the first thing I have to establish.
Yeah, I'm going
like,
to put the witch up again. Yeah, there's a mirror of it. It's
the hand going to go here, because I want it to be like, well, the witch has like the right hand of the one on top, or I remember it might be the left hand, is holding the front of the broom, but then the left hand of the other one is, so she's holding the broom.
We're looking at it now.
In two realities. And that stuff's fun. That it's fun to play with that. And then once I have the pose, it becomes really easy because I'm only drawing half of the image. I just have to make sure it all matches up. I enjoy that puzzle of making that work. And then I enjoy how the face is going to capture the feeling I want to give it. And what I'm trying to do is create dark imagery that doesn't have that ghouly stuff. Like I want it to be poetic and
beautiful,
sort of. Yeah, it should be beautiful, and then so it's a little cartoony too, and I think that's good.
Well, it's playing cards. I mean, playing card art. I like that you captured what a classic playing card art looks like. We have 2 Jokers coming out. One Joker we unveiled already is Anton Szandor LaVey. It just says the Doctor. We have another one coming out soon that people are going to freak out when they see. I cannot wait to unveil it. I think we're going to have to do an episode. I don't know if it's going to be a Behind the Devil's Curtain or just one of these shows, but I want to do a Walpurgisnacht episode, which is a really great witches holiday that I have been celebrating for a long time, and I think we should do a special episode. Here we go. Peter said, what did he say here? Oh yeah, Peter creates sculpture from found. Everything he uses are found objects. The inspiration comes from working. Yeah, as Francis Bacon used to say. I agree. Yeah, just working makes you... I mean, with magic, I'll sit down at night and just start messing around with coins. You'll know because I'll usually film a bit and post it if I come up with a new move. You have to play to explore these mediums a bit.
Yeah.
And here we go. He just somebody just said
William.
Lieberlist says in general this deck or in general playing cards, do you each have a favorite card? If you reference or other... No, I don't think I do. I mean, we both do performing with playing cards a lot. And do you have a favorite card?
Well, so I just did before I did the satanic cards, I did an Oracle deck. So I did a 52 deck design where every card is an image that you can use like a tarot card.
Oh, right.
So if I look at the symbolism, there's things I like about different numbers and things, but in general, I don't think I have a favorite card. In the Gnostic deck, I made myself the Jack of Hearts.
Right. That's the one I have here, correct?
Yeah, you have the Gnostic deck. Yeah,
dude, they're gorgeous. Hold one up and I mean, they're just freaking gorgeous. When you sent me that deck and said our cards are going to be like this, I was like, whoa, oh my God. I mean, I have playing cards in my hand all day, every day for the last, I don't know how many years. So when I have a deck of cards that I like,
so that's the Jack of Hearts, and
yeah, it's your likeness.
I
love it. I love it.
A little blurry in the camera, but
yeah, I love it. It's cool.
I used to make my mustache go in a little curl.
William just said, "Is there going to be hidden meaning in the cards?"
Oh yeah,
the whole thing.
There is
everywhere, all
over the place.
All over the place.
I'm all about even this deck. This is the Gnostic deck, full of symbolism and hidden meaning.
I know. That's why I told you.
I'm all about.
Well,
I'm all about symbolism.
We have so 2 cool things to look forward to if you got the deck. We're going to make 3 extra playing cards in the Satanic playing cards just for doing 3-card Monty stuff. So for performing. And we're going to do a video teaching how to do that. The other thing we're going to do, that might be available to people that weren't in a Kickstarter eventually. Like, we can maybe open that up once we get our web store going. But the one that's not available to anybody are the handful of people that bought the deluxe package, where we're going to do a live Zoom and teach them all the hidden stuff. And if you didn't get that, you're out. That's it. That's I cannot wait to do that.
I'm trying to think for Liz's question, like what decks.
Cards.
There's so many playing card decks out there and designers. Anything that was illustrated by Stutzman,
Stutzman. Wait, let me get your cards.
Always good art. It's the guy who did the David Blaine posters, and like Legends regular Legends playing card deck is a Stutzman design. I think all of David Blaine's stuff pretty much is Stutzman.
Dude, look at this box. I'm showing the box, dude. Your Gnostic box is outrageous. The backs of these Gnostic cards, absolutely outrageous. Just gorgeous. The card stock.
There's a tarot card company called UUSI that I quite like. I have like a shelf of tarot decks and regular playing card decks. There's so many different.
I mean, you're a playing card designer now.
Yeah, and I get a bunch of stuff from Legends when we were working on things, and
dude.
I recently did these as well. I designed these. These are the Legends Celtic deck.
You designed those?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. How did I not know that?
I did this like 5 years ago, and they just only recently had them printed.
Oh my
nice
god!
Little
I love it.
On the, and then the back design. Ooh,
let me see. I did not know this. How do I not know? Oh my gosh! I love it. Congrats! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Good question from Fallon. Stuart, being in a country with so many impressive performance art forms, do you find it more challenging than America? That's a neat question.
No, maybe it's easier.
Why? Less jaded?
And the reason is because I'm exotic.
Ah, you stick out over there. You're the tall white guy.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what? There's a, yeah. So
interesting. You capture their imagination a little earlier, maybe.
Yeah, but also the challenge is that the culture is not built. Performing, you have to tell them when to clap and stuff at the beginning of a show if you're in a big audience of local and people from around Asia, because there's different cultural norms for shows for performance.
Very much.
And they're not used to it.
Right.
Some people, there's not theater, and I miss that. I miss New York. You could go rent a theater and have a theater show with the curtain and the whole thing easily. Here there aren't really theaters like that, and it's hard to, mostly I'm performing at banquet halls or
you don't have cabaret spaces there, do you?
Not really, no.
Right.
We try to create them. We do have some that have popped up, but it's really hard for them to
you don't
keep
have a slipper room like that kind of a place.
Not at all, no.
Watch this. I'm going to do a jumbo fan with your deck. Folks, look at that. I mean, these are like outrageous.
You adapt. I do a lot right now because of COVID. I'm still working, but I work in a restaurant where I perform for people after they eat. And I think that our style of work is going to be more parlor space and small space for a while until people get comfortable.
Right. Well, we always chat, like on our late night chats, a lot about restaurant work because both of us worked at Ninja.
That's right.
And both of us have done a lot of when I tell people I've done 3,000 shows, I'm just like I'm if you add restaurants in there, I mean, we've all done so many restaurant performances. And restaurant magic is kind of a unique thing. It's its own vibe. It's a walk around vibe, but you're standing there sitting. There's usually things going on around you. You don't have a lot of time to impress. You got to bam zoom them quick, you know. And I really cherish the fact that I have also a regular restaurant gig. And it's funny because the audience types that we perform for are very different. Because you'll be like, we'll talk about like, oh, if I did that, that wouldn't work. And I'll tell you what I'm doing. And you're like, well, that would never. When I told you about the sponge dong.
Well, also, we just have very different styles.
We do.
And
yeah.
And like, there's some stuff that I will do, 50 shows of in a night. And it kills every time. And I'm like, try this. And you'll try and be like, no, nothing. It's okay, I guess. Yep. And then you'll be like, this is the best thing ever. And I'll be like, I would never do that.
I know. It's so fun.
That's how this art is it's
well, that means we're both know what we're doing, because that means our characters infused into what it's part of our true characters are in the art. And that's why I can't do your act. I mean, if I did, I'd have to change it up almost, it doesn't work like that. William Nemeth asks, what do you think of the Acheron H.R. Giger Baphomet tarot cards? I remember seeing them and not liking them. I remember not hating them. I was like, they're cool, but I don't need to own them. I remember seeing them.
I think I know what these are. I like H.R. Giger.
I do too.
Geiger.
I do
Not
too.
Sure which correct pronunciation. I think how's it spelled?
I always said H.R. Geiger.
I think it's Geiger. So H.R. Geiger is great. I was inspired by him as a kid. One of the things I did when I was a teenager, I used to paint with an airbrush. And if you saw my wall, even in my house, in my room, when I was a teenager, it was like all H.R. Geiger-y looking stuff. Wow. So big into him. But anytime that somebody takes an artist's work and tries to adapt it as a tarot deck, it loses something.
Yeah, because it wasn't intended.
Trying to fit it into the symbolism of Smith. What's her name? Forget her first name. Smith, the designer for the Waite Smith deck.
Oh yes, the lady that never gets credit. Fallon just posted something.
She designed a very solid system for tarot imagery that everybody uses. Occasionally people go more Crowley based, but usually people are going Waite based.
I had the Crowley deck and didn't like it because the minor cards.
So what people do is they'll take like existing imagery and they'll try to make it fit into the same format that she's created, and it feels off to me.
Yeah,
so I never vibe with those, even if I like it.
It wasn't made for that. The Salvador Dali deck I always thought was kind of cool. He has one.
Oh yeah, but Dali went and made a tarot deck.
Yeah,
I have that.
Yeah, it's very nice. I think it has to do with organic. He said he gave the deck to his ex-fiancée as a gift. Oh, she had the same birthday. We have a character. Here's a funny Geiger story. You know Limelight in New York City, Stuart? Oh, there it is. There's Dali. There's the magician. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great deck.
I do. I like it too. I like the colors. I like the imagery. Somebody was at Limelight, New York, and Geiger was there.
Does that still exist?
Well, no. It's a shopping mall now. And Geiger was there, and they had the book Necronomicon for them to get signed. And it was my friend, and he goes, all right, I'm going to give this to you. Go over there and have him sign it. So he gave it to this other friend of mine who went, and when he came back, they opened the book. It said George Whipple. And they were like, oh my God, that wasn't H.R. Geiger. That was George Whipple, the news guy from New York One News. George Whipple, New York one.
He's got a big mustache.
He didn't at the time. He looked like Geiger. He had that white hair, and they just mixed him up. And he signed that valuable book with a marker, George Whipple. So
that's great.
So check this out. I was doing a magic show at Collective Unconscious 25 years ago. This is around that time. And George Whipple was in the audience with a bottle of wine in his pocket. He was wasted. I could see it. I was like, George Whipple's here, and he's drunk. And he was the guy on New York One that would do weird stories. So we went down the basement to the Collective Unconscious, and I got a Bible and a Star Trek book. They had them in the basement, and I got him to sign them. I was like, George, I'm a big fan. Will you sign this? And he's like, sure. And he signed the Bible. And I called my friend. I was like, dude, I got him to sign a Bible. That guy will sign anything. George Whipple, New York One. He's
Pamela Smith, thank you. My brain was not connecting. Pamela
Smith. We need to tell people about her because she doesn't get credit usually. It should be called the Rider-Waite Smith deck, not the Rider-Waite deck.
You don't even need Rider. Rider's the publishing company.
Oh,
Rider would
really?
be like,
it should be
if I called mine the Legends Gnostic deck, it's not, so.
Oh, interesting. So no one should call it that.
So it's Waite Smith.
The Waite Smith
Pamela
deck.
Coleman Smith. Look her up. She's cool.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Yeah.
And Fallon was just saying she has synesthesia, which I didn't know. That makes sense.
Wow, I love it. Wow, this has been a good one, man. We've had a good chat. We're gonna wrap it up soon because we've kept people here for an hour and a freaking half.
Yeah, you were like 20 minutes or something.
Dude, I mean, we start talking and it's like, well, folks,
totally.
If you're in here and you're watching this show, hit that stupid subscribe button. I mean, I love donations. All the donors paid for this fancy new camera I have and the microphone and all that. That's good. But the most important thing is hit the like and subscribe. And Stuart, I don't know if you knew this. If you don't hit the notify bell, they can shadow ban you. That's why all the people are like, hit the notify bell. Because when you get shadow banned on YouTube, they literally go, click, and they hit a button, and you are gone. You're not gone. They don't erase you. They put you in an algorithm that no one will see you in a search. Yeah. So if you have people that follow you, they subscribe to you, they're not going to even know you have new videos if you get shadow banned. They will, you need to hit the bell. So if you're having fun with these shows, subscribe, notify. Because once I hit 1,000, the game changes. So let's say bye to everybody, and then I'm going to say bye to you, and then we're all going to bounce out. This is your morning. You're just getting going here. I'm going to watch Godzilla King Kong. And
awesome.
They legalized marijuana in New York City today. Congrats, New York City. Finally. It's ridiculous that it's been
fabulous.
Illegal. There's going to be stores, and you can grow up to 6 plants. I will be making oil for food and rubbing. I can't wait to try to make hemp oil. Awesome. Thank you, Bubba John. Who else is in here? There's a lot of new people in here tonight. I got Amanda, William. I got all my regulars that are always in here. My mama's in the house. Thanks, Mama. Francis, Sharky, Peter Benedetti, Talon, Lieber Liz, Amazing Richie, Fallon, Jason, Ashworth, all the people that Eric Carr. Thank you. You guys support the heck out of this show, and it really means something to me. Thank you. And Stuart, you and me are gonna have more. We're gonna do another one now that we've done this and my equipment works.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll do another one. I'd like to do one on how people can use hypnosis, because I use hypnosis. Ooh, what did Alve Dazan? What, someone wrote something here. I don't know what it is.
Somebody earlier asked for recommendations on hypnosis books, and I was going to respond to that. It depends on which. If you want to learn hypnosis for entertainment purposes, or if you want to learn hypnosis for like helping people and trancing them out and getting over fears and stuff. Which if you go that route, and I think that's the best route to go for any of it, be prepared to do a lot of work. But if you just want to skim the surface, get Orman McGill's Encyclopedia of Hypnosis or something like that.
Orman McGill.
And if you're coming to it from a magical background, Anthony Jacquin's Reality is Plastic is a fantastic book.
Wow, I never even.
And then there are other books I'd recommend, but the other books are all going to be books that I would recommend for people who already kind of know something.
Is Reality is Plastic something you need to go to a specialty bookstore, or it's an Amazon thing?
No, you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it. There's an audio book of it that's really good. You can get it. Just search Anthony Jacquin, I have the thing up here with his name on it. Jacquin. And Reality is Plastic book or something, and buy it from him.
I will definitely look that up. I use hypnosis in my performances as a supplement, and I don't tell people that it's that. I use it to clarify and emphasize certain little nuggets of magic-y bits.
Right.
So I'm constantly trying to learn more about hypnosis. I think it's a freaking fascinating thing. Mesmerism, I think, was the original. What was the original name for it? Mesmerism? I think it had another.
It was.
Yeah. I love it. One of my favorite things is I met a hypnotist a long time ago in the magic shop, and I was like, so what's the deal with hypnosis? You think it's real? And he went, I don't know, but my clients say it is.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, bam. Auf Wiedersehen. Oh, Fallon was trying to write Alviderzane, and Fallon wrote Alvederzane, and I didn't know what it was. Well, Fallon, thank you. You're a big supporter of the show. Thank you so much. All right, folks, I'm going to bow out here. I'm going to hit the end credits, and that means you're going to be gone. You're going to be out of here, Stuart. So
be well, everybody.
I'm gonna actually hit you out of Zoom so that you're not at home walking around your
Ouch,
office
ouch.
talking and no one. Dude, thank you so much. It is evening, and I'm gonna say let's chat Thursday morning, which is your tonight for you.
Yep.
Okay, party on. Have a great day today, Stuart. I'm gonna take you out and keep the show going for 1 second.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Stuart. Thank you for your time. Wowzers, live cam. Folks, wow. That was awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight. It was a true honor to have a good friend of mine on here that I do respect as an artist. And thank you, everybody. You guys ask really, really, really good questions. And yes, we might do a Devil's Curtain on hypnosis. Party on, everybody. This was episode 49. I got episode 50 coming up. I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers. I've been busting my butt on this. You guys make the difference, really. Without you guys watching, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you. As for donations, if anybody donates, it goes right in the show. And if you can't donate and you're broke, hey, I get it. This is weird times. We are literally, if you told us all what was going to be going on this year, no one would believe you. They'd be like, what? So, hey, we adapt. We move and adapt. And here we are. I'm live on YouTube 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I don't miss these too often. So, thank you, everybody. This is Evening Hour 49. I'm Cardone. I'm going to take you out with my outro and party on.